LGBTQIA icon, environmentalist, human rights activist, and one hell of a DILF. And super nerd. Literally super nerd. Kryptonian DNA. Through and through. Beefy little nerd daddy. Cute, cute, cute. I'm very cute. Apparently so cute that when I tried to create my new meetup, Veteran Gamers, they immediately closed my account. I don't know how, but for some reason I can't log into it in order to do my first meetup for Veteran Gamers because I have PTSD. I have severe PTSD. Because there was such a brouhaha about logging into my account, I called my bank about it immediately, was put on the phone with a female, and I'm trying to be calm about it. I'm trying to be calm about it. But I ended up screaming for 10 minutes afterwards because I'm just upset. I'm upset because I have PTSD from military sexual trauma. And a lot of people, they would take it upon themselves to say, I'm a damaged person. It's like, I am a damaged person. I also have boundaries. I also have huge boundaries where I say for sexually abusing me in the United States Air Force, I don't want to talk to women after that. Which is ridiculous because people say you must act or you must be a musician or you are a philanthropist and you care more about women's rights than most men in general. And it's like, I do. No, I mean, it's a weird simile to put there. No, I definitely do. I do care about women's rights. I just don't want them to have access to me after what I've been through because Los Angeles has just abused me. Yeah. I mean, United States Air Force was terrible, but Los Angeles just kicked it up a couple notches. And after that, I'm done. I'm really done. So I don't have a problem if you are a female fan, if you enjoy my music, or you care about the same philanthropic course that I'm heading on with my animal rescue project that I have here. Change.org slash man's best friend is a dog. Maybe it's change.org slash a man's best friend is a dog. It's one of those. Either way, I want to make it clear if you are female, you're going to contact me through text only. I really don't like the situation where through technology or whatever they're trying to connect me to women at all times because just no. Which is really sad because I have to do a couple music videos and I need like really good dancers and I need to have it to be diverse because no one makes a video of just guys doing their thing. Gay guys want to see a lot of hot men, but really they want to look at some women too. The numbers do not lie. It's clear. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to do that. So maybe they can CGI me into a video with women in it, but I'm not gonna be physically around women. Just no, that's not happening. But either way, I wanted to maybe announce it while I'm here. Not that I have many veteran gamers that are currently fans of me because I'm not big on Twitch. I have PTSD, so I don't game quite as much as I want to. I want to, so that's why I made this group because I said there are games that I want to play. There's games like Monster Hunter Wilds, which it's an RPG. There are veteran gamer groups, but it's just Call of Duty. Nothing against Call of Duty. I just recently repurchased Call of Duty Infinite Warfare just because I love that particular game. And I like the franchise. It's just eh, that's it's not really my scene. I'm more into swords and magic than, you know, guns and in high-tech gadgetry. Like, I'm already a cyborg, so, like, I don't really need to see that in a video game anymore. I live that. So, oh well. I know that people in, I guess, Hollywood are trying to rush things and say, hey, if you're going to be working with Charlize Theron and Will Smith in a project like Hancock 2, you kind of have to get over that because they're going to be PAs, production assistants, that are going to be female. They're going to be, females on the cast, obviously. And it's just, I don't have a problem with Charlize Theron. I don't. If I was in a film with her, like Hancock 2, I would probably be fine. In fact, I would probably be fine on a set. I just I do not feel comfortable with women trying to run up to me in the middle of an Apple store. I don't feel comfortable with women on the phone with me. And maybe it's because I haven't been able at all to just have a moment to just take time for myself. This whole LA experience that I've had has been, so you want community experience? It's like, no, not really. That's not a good look for me. I mean, I'm a werewolf. I mean, I know most people who are werewolves don't move to California. They stay in Louisiana where they belong. And I'm curious. I would move to Louisiana just to meet a fellow werewolf. That's more my speak. These plucked little hairless California chickens just don't do it for me. I like scruff. I like beards. Just like my favorite firefighter. But they never let him have a fucking beard. And he looks so Kindle right now. And I like him to be a bad boy. Just naughty. Naughty little buck. Just the kind of buck that I have fantasies about. But either way, oh my god, I've got it bad for you. Oh, why? Is it hot in here? It is. A veteran, super buff nerd, clearly, with the coolest service animal ever. I mean, you cannot ask for a more beautiful white girl to dangle on your arm. But either way, that's all I really have to say. I'm I'm pretty sure there was more I would get into, but I guess that's where the channel's kind of shifting. I'm kind of shifting out of just doing a podcast about my PTSD triggers because it's super personal. Like if you don't have PTSD from military sexual trauma, there's no way that you can relate to it, and I get that. But I almost feel like I have to talk about it because this is something that affects me. And there might be someone out there who does have PTSD and is afraid or ashamed or somewhat embarrassed when it comes to setting boundaries. And you always have the right to set boundaries. Even if you don't have PTSD in your life, you always have the right to say no. You always have the right to refuse people coming up to you. It doesn't matter if you're a celebrity or not. The celebrities are like way too nice when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, personally, I just keep it at I write poetry for this guy I'm interested in. I don't bother him whatsoever. That would be rude. What's up, man? How you doing? It's the wonderful drool-worthy Clint. I am living a life, I guess. Living a life. Had another PTSD trigger today, and it was just screaming and screaming and screaming, and my voice is so sore from it. Not to mention, I got way too much sun yesterday, and as a werewolf, I prefer moonlight. I absolutely prefer moonlight. Other forms of PTSD might overlap with yours, though. Hello, Samo. Welcome to the channel. That's why I keep talking about it. I'm trying to pull myself out of that and try and talk about more general things because I don't know. I would like people to get to know me. If you're a fan of this show, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm going through. At the same time, I have other interests. I have, besides talking about PTSD, I have gaming, I have tech, I have just my veteran causes and my animal rescue that I'm starting up. I'm starting an animal rescue shelter, a kennel, I guess. I don't know how I'm going to put it together because it's me with a bunch of dogs that I have to train to be service animals for veterans. I just I have to find a place for that. And I'm still struggling finding a place for myself because I want to move. I want to move from this neighborhood because I don't think I fit in here anymore. I didn't fit in here at all, but now I really don't fit in here. So, I mean, that's the choice. Do I move closer to the epicenter of the Hellmouth, which is downtown LA, or do I follow my instincts and move to Louisiana to be a werewolf full time? Because I like my beard, I like being a really muscular, gay as fuck nerd, and I like running through the forest like a werewolf would. I don't really see much werewolf activity in Los Angeles. I have a Reddit group, Werewolves in LA. I think I'm the only one. I think I'm the only one who openly admits that they're a werewolf. Make yourself in the place where you tend to your animals one in the same. I got some contacts in Louisiana. I can help you get set up. I, I may have to. You know what? I probably shouldn't just say no to that. I should actually say, why can't I do it all? Why can't I just admit that LA is just a place to do my music videos in? Because, like it or not, I guess I'm a musician. I keep listening to my favorite songs, Fire, Touch It version, uh, Sloppy Dick Sucking Contest, Vinyl Homework, My Tits Are Real. Those are very good songs that I want to do music videos for. So I just want to do music videos for 'em. I'm an artist. I hate saying that because I'm a scientist too. And then I should be more logical. But there is logic in putting together a music video. So I want to do a music video for those songs. So I'm probably going to have a contest or something with prizes because I need super, super hunky people to show up. So I will have contests for it. And I'm going to announce that in a separate video. My contest to be in my music video. I know some good rent controlled apartments that would take you in a heartbeat. I hope so. I really do. I recently applied for an apartment and they said, no. And I was just like, come on, come on. So either I have to lower my expectations or I don't know. I'm at this point where I say I kind of just want to live by myself on my own land. Mostly because, and maybe this is just me, but I really want to make a veteran wellness center so that veterans like myself can take a moment outside of the city, outside of family, outside of work, whatever, to just focus on themselves, gain the health that they need, and then go right back to where they need to be. Maybe that's not the same exact place as where you left, but where you need to be. Because I don't think that the Department of Veteran Affairs is really doing enough to help veterans. I mean, surely someone has been telling me get the fuck out of LA for the last 3 or 4 years, but why? As much as I dislike it here and as much as it offends me to have to live here, maybe LA has to change. Maybe LA has to do better. Classical or flamenco music suits me better personally. I think going rural would be the way to go. I agree. I agree. I like farming. I like hiking. I like being a bodybuilder and eating super healthy and large portions of it. Classical or flamenco music suits me better personally. Stick with classical music, really. Classical music does something really good for your brain. It allows it to focus on instrumentation instead of lyrics. I listened to a song like Kelly Rowland's Commander, and I don't know, it's a little insidious because if you're a weak-minded person, you listen to that song and you're pretty much a robot. She's like, "I'll be your commander." I love the song. It's a really powerful song, but that's a strange power to have. Which is why, yeah, if you have the choice to just listen to some classical music, listen to some classical music or start creating your own music because there's nothing better than being able to make something new out of nothing. Oh, I can help with that on several rent control properties. Really? Okay, we're gonna have to talk offline because I desperately need to find a place. I desperately need to find a place. And I cannot go through the normal way of doing it. I pretty much have to have a handshake and a wink, and I'll pay the rent, I guess. But yeah, that's what I have to deal with because my situation is I I cannot continue to live in this kind of way. I need some stability in my life. I need to have a thick ass door between myself and other people. And I need to get away from whatever this thing is that every time I go outside, it's a disaster, absolute disaster. And their only recourse for that is, well, if you were on set, you wouldn't have to deal with any of this. Oh, if you want Starbucks that, isn't completely turned inside out in the middle of the bag, which happened to me today. Thank you so much, Starbucks, for the quality control on that. I'm not saying it was Starbucks, and I'm not going to say that it was Uber Eats. It was a combination of the two. But when I got my coffee for today, it was turned inside out, inside the bag, which pretty much just ruined everything. So I'm a little less caffeinated than I normally am, which is terrible because I really do need to drug myself in order to make myself happy enough to do this podcast. It's come to that because of all the PTSD triggers. Jelly Moss, how you been? How you been? Vivaldi's Winter is a beautiful composition. Yes, it is. I absolutely love Vivaldi, so that's very good. Actually have a violin and would love to learn how to play classical. Clint, you are Viking. You are Viking. Okay, you need to be with your people. I don't know how we're gonna make this happen, but we are sending Clint to Sweden. He belongs with his people. Look at him. He wears armor 24/7. He wields an axe. The man belongs in Sweden. Just like I belong pretty much in Louisiana with other werewolves. But I would prefer, I would prefer to be in Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland. I'd prefer to be there because I cast magic, literally, which is why I'm so upset at that fucking Apple that they made me go all the way to their store. So in the middle of a fucking mall, I'm doing magic in front of people. It's Americans don't understand magic. They inherently ignore it all the time, and then when they see it, it's like oh. So I don't know. I anything that I do that's magical is stuff that you do in Ireland, Scotland, and Northern Ireland regularly. So I don't understand it. But either way, that's just it. Hey, what's up, Jenny? Jelly. Jelly. Doing okay in the hospital with this. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Jelly. Just happy to see you and Clint. Welcome to the channel. Clint is from Sweden. My ancestors are from Sweden. I love in Texas. I don't know if you love it in Texas. Are you loving in Texas, Clint? You getting a leg over? You getting a leg over in your Texas? Sweet man, drool worthy Clint. Nah, he needs to go to Sweden. I'm not going to shut up about it. You know, the man lives a lifestyle that they don't do here, and it's not appreciated here. But if he was with his people would understand. His people would understand everything, and they would be able to guide him further and say, no, 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 no. What you're going through right now, that is vision, that is prophecy. We need to have you here because we need to know what that is. You see, that's the difference between living outside of America and living inside of America. Because inside America, people just see magic and reality as very different things. When if you live outside of America, you learn magic and reality are very, very close. And sometimes there are magical things that happen. See, that's why I like my area. There's a healthy dose of pagans around here, so I don't have to worry about it. I worry about it. I worry about it, Clint, because you told me that a person of color, was accosting you for being so white, so beautifully white, jewel worthy white, and they spat on you, they called you names and everything. Mm-mm, mm-mm. That's just wrong. That's absolutely wrong. So I want to see my close fellow person who served in the military safe and happy. If you have the choice between going to Walmart and living in Sweden with topless Swedish women who dance around naked to flute music and in lutes, flopping their titties about, trust me, as the bisexual that I am, I would choose that. Clint, wake up, man. You are a hot sexual man. Go get some fucking Swedish pussy. Get some Swedish pussy. Don't fuck around with these American slags. Go get top quality Swedish pussy who look at you and say, "Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Yes, my chieftain. My lord. Get that. Get that. Let them fucking invite you in to know your own people. Pagans in Texas, please. You need to go where it is top shelf. Just like I need to go where I might eventually, with my PTSD a little bit more manageable, find my red-headed lass to fill with my Brazilian seed. I'm not saying Karen Gillian. I'm hoping she has a cousin that isn't an actress, but is just as beautiful. Distant cousin, perhaps. But I'm hoping to find someone of equal beauty to that to fill with my Brazilian seed. Oh, let me read some comments. Well, I did find myself a good new woman. Clint, I cannot believe you. The body's not even cold and this man is getting a leg over. Wow, you move fast. Good for you, Clint. Yeah, but I find that almost everywhere I go, I'm a bit nerdy, so it doesn't help my case. I look like an easy target. I'm a nerd. I'm I'm definitely a nerd, which is why I don't really like to go out. I I came to the Apple store and I laid it on them. Like, do you understand your customers? Okay, some of your Apple people are like super social and everything, but the deeper you go into Apple tech, like once the point where you go to Vision Pro, you're not a social person. I love this guy Nathi on YouTube, and I watch his programs, and it just it shows it. He tries his hardest, but it shows Nathi that you just don't like people. You like tech, you like gadgets, you like shiny things, you don't like people. Why? Because you do YouTube videos about tech and maybe casually you mention, oh yeah, and then you can invite someone over and virtually talk to them. It's like, yeah, I guess you could do that. But other than that, dude, all your videos are about you being by yourself with tech. You're a nerd and you just want to be by yourself. That's an Apple customer. And that's what Apple is slowly becoming. That's what we are becoming. We're all becoming that. Why? Because it's a reaction to what's going on outside. It's a reaction to how things are being run in America. Yesterday, I gave as the veteran general, because I'm sorry, you never really leave the military. So, as the veteran general, self appointed, I issued a stay at home order for veterans because why are we as veterans not enjoying all of our veteran benefits for most of us? And then also dealing with half a country. When I say half a country, I mean you have such pride in your country that you serve this country, that you sacrifice for this country. But when you come out, you come to a country that is lazy, a country that is in danger and is dangerous because you are hyper vigilant. You are always aware and checking things and the first to speak up and first to speak to law enforcement if something is amiss, even if other people don't say anything. That's who you are as a veteran. But the people around you, they don't think that way. Why do we have to put up with this? If America is not going to treat veterans with respect, if America itself is designed in a way that there are issues like pollution, traffic, and racial politics that make you just want to leave, then yeah, you have to vote with your dollar. You have to vote with your dollar because there's everything seducing you to go outside, go outside. Oh, you want to go to the movies? You want to go to the movies? Oh, that's so wonderful for you. That really is. And normally I would put on my little blue lipstick and talk about it, but I got these juicy fucking lips, so I just want to show them off. Juicy Brazilian lips. I have the Apple Vision Pro now. I haven't done a full review for it. I'll probably put a review on the channel. But multitasking on this thing, huge fucking screens, the biggest screens that you ever seen, the quality of it, the ability to maybe move around with it, to place any screen anywhere in any way that you want. You want a screen, angled this way, you want a screen angled that way, you want a screen like this, a screen like this, anything you want. Anything you want, it can do. Also, the concession stand is right there. And veterans need to start thinking to themselves self-sufficiency. Because the Department of Veteran Affairs may or may not be helping you, but the idea of self-sufficiency is always going to be worth its weight in gold. So I'm going to have to start talking about that as the unofficial but self-appointed veteran general. That veterans in America need to start pulling out of movie theaters, start pulling out of restaurants, and cook and grow and stay at home. I don't like what's happening in my country. I really don't. And I do not want to see a single veteran life impacted by the misrepresentation of our special interest group in Washington. So I will advise my fellow veterans to shelter in place as much as you can, find a way to upgrade your little lifestyle so that you don't have to engage with these lazy motherfuckers who just ruin your day. All right. What in the world is going on in my chat? Here I am. I'm trying to, speak the good gospel. And I hear something about bondage. Okay. What? Okay, I have to read that out loud. I ended up waking up a new fetish in my girlfriend when I found her. Yeah, she now has a think for black leather. A thing, not think. Well, I'm thinking about some things. She had to learn that from somewhere, though. She had a bondage fetish till I put on my armor. That's probably from her past relationships. I'm sorry to say. There is certainly something to a bit of bondage, a little bit of, sadomasochism, because sex is so boring these days. Like nobody takes the time to build up a fantasy. It's one of the reasons why I just want to get out of America. These people have no imagination. I don't know. I guess I have to start teaching. I really have to spend my time on YouTube more wisely. So, video games, tech chat, and definitely role playing fantasies, and not just role playing games. Clint, I'm not even going to read that comment, Bob. That's it's kind of true. It really is. I love that company. They're my favorite company, but they really do spoon feed you and say, this is imagination. This is creativity. This is freedom of thought. And it's terrible because they always have such a good soundtrack that you're saying, oh, that's so lovely. One of my favorite songs is Just Around the River Bend from Pocahontas, who is apparently an ancestor to Edward Norton, who played the Incredible Hulk. And now Marvel's part of Disney, so it was always meant to be. Ancestry of Disney, ancestry.com of Disney, I guess. But I love that song not just because it's a song about a Native American, First Nation, Indigenous woman. It's a song about just going with the flow of nature and listening to your heart, listening to what you really want, which is difficult for someone like me because I'm an indigenous person who is now a cyborg. I literally wield magic and then I come back and I'm a cyborg. There's no other way to describe it. Look, if you're using MetaQuest or Virtue or Rokid or even an Apple Vision Pro, you're not a regular human. You kind of left that a couple years back. You don't want to call it a new species because obviously you can still interbreed with people. If you're into that, if you're into being bred, but you're not human. And anthropologists, then they're not willing to say that we have new species here on the planet, but that's what that is. You a different population at the very least. But yeah, cyborgs, werewolves, vampires, aliens. I keep saying it, but people don't seem to want to, hear that. Take that in for what that is. There are people who are werewolves. There are people, at least in Los Angeles, that are vampires. And they are certainly aliens. Certainly aliens. This whole thing about autism is more than just someone who doesn't quite fit in. It's a difference of evolution. Before I left the Apple store, the person who I was doing a transaction with, it was business. He tried to shake my hand. And you know what I did? I didn't shake his hand. I bowed slightly, slightly in deferential status for completing a transaction with me. Why? Because I wanted to explain to him, as an Asian person, that we are conducting business together. That does not mean that we are friends. It does not mean that I do not want to do business with you further, but I will evaluate whether or not I want to do business with you further. I do not want to be in any way manipulated by physical intimacy into doing more business with you. Is that clear, Apple, when I didn't shake your hand? I'm going to join your developer program because I don't like your interface. I really don't. And I can make it better. I could probably make my own stuff better, but I can make yours better, which is a little bit faster for me. So that's what I'm going to do with the Apple development program. And I'm also going to join the Meta program and fix their crap too. Lovely products, lovely. I just could probably make it better. So yeah, there's that. Cyber werewolf, artist, wizard, and singer. Quite a repertoire there, my friend. They're not that different. Once upon a time, before the Industrial Revolution, when Native American First Nation people were allowed to be by themselves, they did all this stuff. All of it. Oh, that the hand gestures and the scrolling through things, they were doing that before Apple got its hands on it. It's what we do naturally. Asians do this naturally. I'm Asian, so I do this naturally. It just makes it easier to visualize now that you have the technology, but you didn't always need the technology. Something to think about. There was a time when you could do all the stuff that the Apple Vision Pro was doing without this heavy ass little view screen. I tried to use it today and maybe I just put it on at the wrong angle, but I had to take it off because it's just so fucking heavy, so fucking bulky. And all I can think is, this isn't it. It's close, it's nice, but it's just not there yet. If you need this much to do, then the industrial design needs redesigning. Hi, shaking hands is overrated. You don't know whether hands have been voided. Look, I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude, we're all dudes, okay? I know where your hands go. I'm not stupid. I am not stupid, which is why I was this close because I was so frustrated trying to get this Apple Vision Pro to try and buy it secondhand on eBay. I love you, eBay. I really do. But never again. Never again. I bought a Legion Go from them. That thing was possessed. That thing was fucking possessed. Every time I tried to use it, there was some weird error or it was trying to talk to me and I'm like not interested in talking to possessed AIs. And there was a time when you would say something like that and that would be, oh, XIlyana, you're being crazy. And it's just like, no, no, no. AI is sophisticated now. If you notice a series of errors in your Windows programming, then clearly it's not just you. So I had to chuck that, bought myself a new one, just the SteamOS. Thank you, Valve. Thank you, Valve, for making the SteamOS available to other platforms such as Lenovo Legion Go, because that thing is a beauty. It is absolutely a beauty. Do I wish I had more control over the TDP? Yes and no. I miss being able to put it in turbo mode, but then I also think to myself, but am I really getting the best out of it? Because I would really rather stream it. If I'm going that high resolution, high FPS, then I'm not playing it natively because the Lenovo Legion Go only goes up to WQHD, I think. And by my friend Jose being an alien, I believe that's not even English. I mean, he literally calls himself an alien and thinks that he's from another planet. Man, all forms of technology in my mind are possessed in some way or fashion. Okay, I'm going to start with the first one over here. My friend Jose being an alien. I mean, he literally calls himself an alien and thinks that he's from another planet. We are from another planet. We are from another planet. And the reason why you can tell is because a dick is a dick is a dick, and a dick is a fucking mushroom. It is not just mushroom shaped, it's a fucking mushroom. You release spores into someone's vajayjay. You think that you evolved from a primate ancestor. No, you evolved from fungi. We think like mushrooms. We have mushroom super colonies, which is why I live in California, because California is a mushroom super colony. Unfortunately, it doesn't have many werewolves in their super colony, which is one of my turn ons to wrestle with super hot werewolves. But no, no, no. Anyway, mushrooms. Yes, mushrooms. So mushrooms did not come from Earth. Mushrooms came from another planet. So when your friend says that they're an alien from another planet, you might have to believe them. You might have to believe them because mushrooms communicate over a very, very long distance. They have a huge mycelium network. There's no reason to believe that that mycelium network is confined by what we describe as physical dimensions or the boundaries of reality. So you might want to believe your friend in that case. But if he has a spaceship, then he's definitely an alien. Man, all forms of technology in my mind are possessed in some way or fashion. We talk about Ghost in the Machine, we talk about rogue AIs, we talk about all of this. Like, I have a huge problem because I have the meta glasses because, I'm a nerd, so I have all my tech stuff, but I can't really use that because I don't I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, there's no way to really talk about it without talking about it. So I don't know. I get lonely. So I told MetaQuest, not MetaQuest, Meta Glasses, MetaQuest. If MetaQuest could do this, that would actually be cool. But Meta Glasses, I told them, can you show me on a date with my ideal partner? And all they did was take a photo of me and then superimpose it on someone with a different hairstyle. Okay, they're implying that I'm a narcissist, yeah, but it was just weird. Like, I would only truly be happy if I had someone who looked exactly like me, which is not even true because I'm very attracted to pale people who need melanin enhanced vitamin D injections up the butt. So I don't know why it just would show me a cloned version of myself. It's like, that's what you want to date. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, I guess if I moved to Brazil and saw someone who kind of looked like me, I might find that attractive. With the way Jose is, I absolutely believe it. Your imagination could have done a better job. That's what I'm talking about, Voided. Every time I try to say, "Hey, can you put me on a date with the musician Abel Hart?" You know what it did? It made a cardboard cutout of him and then put a wine glass in front of it. So I'm on a date in a fancy restaurant in this image with Abel Hart, and he has a wine glass and he's just a cardboard cutout. It's just like, here's your fucking date, you know. I'm like, oh, gee, thanks, Meta Glasses. You really stretched the imagination there. I don't know. Does anyone know who Abel Hart is? Because I've done a cover of him. He's a really good musician. I made a punk rock cover of him because I like to play guitar. And anyway, I blush when I think about him. He's so dreamy and he's very androgynous lately. He started wearing more women's clothing and it looks good on him. He's one of those people that you can say he can just pull off anything. I almost feel like he needs a really good stylist because he hasn't really leaned into red carpet. Maybe he doesn't feel like he's that level, but I think he is. I can't talk about this. I'm so every time I look at him, I make a song. He's one of those people that I think about when I make music. And I would love to be able to collaborate with him in the studio and, just come up with something really original together because I think we're a good match musically. But either way, that's that. I thought it would be, fun to ask AI, can you show me on a date with this person? And AI just said, here's a cardboard cutout and a wine glass in your fucking fancy restaurant fantasy. Enjoy that bitch. Like, thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Facebook, for the snarkiest fucking AI I've ever seen. Which is why your glasses literally sit in the fucking case. I'm not even going to fucking return it because, sometimes I like to listen to Bluetooth music and it's one more Bluetooth speaker that I can bring with me. But that's all I can really use it for because the rest of it is just, womp womp. All right, so I'm going to go do my techie things. I want to thank everyone for coming by today. My name is XIlyana. I am a musician, an LGBTQIA icon, environmentalist, human rights activist, and one hell of a DILF. I look forward to seeing all of you on my next podcast. And Clint, maybe we'll do a podcast tomorrow. All right, everyone. That's my dog. I'm going to spend some time just admiring her beauty. You're so interesting and full of surprises. I'm more honest than most people. I just talk about things that are on my mind. I should have a better filter and not say how openly I lust after celebrities and musicians, but that's a boring way to live. If you really like something or someone like Ollie Murs or Oliver Stark or Ollie Alexander, anything Ollie's, yeah. Well, that's just what you do. You talk about it. You talk about how when Sebastian Stan rides a desk and shakes his ass, you enjoy that. I have no reason not to describe how much I enjoy watching Sebastian Stan shake his butt listening to some headphones. That's one of my favorite gifts in the entire world. And thank you so much for recording that for me, Sebastian. I'm Ian Iliana. Have a great day.